Hello everybody, I hope you've had a lovely weekend and you've managed to get outside even if you've just to be a bit wrapped up and enjoyed yourself. Today for maths we are starting with something a bit different, something that we have done before in class but we didn't do last week. It is something to do with this sign here. And I hope you're all shouting straight at me, yes Miss Brown, we know exactly what that is. Can you tell somebody that you are with? What does this sign here mean? And I don't just want one word that tells you what it means. We know we can use lots of different vocabulary for this symbol. See how many you can remember. Ready, steady, go. How many words can you think of? I hope there's lots of different vocabulary coming from you. We've used lots of different words to describe this. Sometimes when we're reading our mathematical problems, they use different words. And we need to know them all in order to solve our maths problems. Okay, time is up. I'm going to share my screen with you to show you the symbol and some of the words that you might have used. So, as we know, this is our addition sign. That's one of the words when we can say that this is adding. It shows us that we need to add things. It says that we can also use the word make, because we know that when we add numbers together, they make a new number. They make a new number. When we add, is the number it makes a larger amount or a smaller amount? I hope you're all shouting at me, Miss Brown, of course it's a larger amount, because when you add, you get more. Can we all say that? When you add, you get more. It's like our part whole. We've got two parts, we add them together and we get more. We get the whole number, not just parts, the whole number. And down here, you'll see that word more. So add and addition, very similar. They make, we have the two parts and all together, they make the whole number. You can also use the word sum to describe this. They are the sum of these two values, these two numbers. You can also use the word total. What is the total number of things? When I've got 5 and I've got 3, what are they all together? The total amount is. And there's that word all together as well. You can also use this to describe as the plus sign. So there are just a few words you might have said. Top, well done if you've come up with more than one way of describing it or several ways, fantastic. So we are going to be thinking about addition today. What happens when we put things all together to find the total, to find that whole number. So today we're going to do that by playing a game. Hopefully your grown-up have hidden some numbers around the room for you. Twinkle Toes, the cat, has hidden some numbers around the room for me, and I am going to add them together. Now, there are 3 different levels we can do this at today. I'm going to show you level number 1, level number 2, and level number 3, and you can see which one suits you. So, the first and most exciting part of our game today is you get to go and find the numbers. Now, there is a rule. You can only find 2 numbers at a time today. I know that when we can add lots of different numbers together to make up total a whole number. So we know we can have as many parts as we like. But today we're only going to have 2 parts that we join together to make a whole number. So my first job is to go and find 2 numbers. And I hope he hasn't hidden them in too many hard places, Twinkle Toes. Off I go. And I'm going around. What can I find? Oh, I found one number. I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to find another number. Okay. And I'm going to bring that back with me too. Here I come. Okay, I've got 2 parts. I'm very excited. The first part I have found is this part here. What number have I got? Oh, it's very shiny. Number 3. Indeed, I have. And the other part I've got here is, I hope you said 7. So I've got 7 and I've got 3. 3 and 7. Now I know when I can add in any order. So I can start with the 7 and add the 3 on. Or I can start with the 3 and add the 7 on. I like to start with the biggest number, the largest amount, because that can be a bit easier later on when we're adding. So I'm going to start with the 7. Level number 1 is using some objects around the house to join them together. So I've got cubes. You might have pasta or toys or bricks or socks or anything you like, really. But I'm going to use my bricks. So I'm going to make the number 7 first. So here they are. Very important. I count that carefully. Oh, I've got a little tower here already. Is there 7 is the question. Let's count and check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite. How many more to get to 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope you said 1 more, Miss Brown. 1 more to 7. So I have got 7. And to 7, I am going to add 3. So I need 3. 1, 2, and 1 more. 3. So I've got my 7 and my 3, and I'm going to add them together. So I'm adding the amounts 7 and 3. I'm going to join them like this, and I'm going to count them to see how many I have all together. So I've got my 7 and my 3. I might be clever and not have to count those because I know that that's 7 and that's 3. But if you need to, that's fine too. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, hang on a minute. I might not have needed to use my cubes for that because I know my number bonds to 10. 7 and 3 is 10. Of course it is. You might have been very quick and said that. That's brilliant. If you have been able to do that, you might be ready to go on to the next level. But I'm going to finish level number 1 first. So the next job is I'm going to write my calculation because I had 7 and I had 3 and added them together. And I want to find out what the total was, how many of them were all together. So I'm going to record the calculations so other people know too. So I've got 7. Here it is, number 7. And I'm going to add 3 more. That's what I did. And then all together, 7 and 3, the tower of 7 and the tower of 3. And I put it all together was the same as, was equal to, what does it add up to? What's that number bond? Number bond to 10. 7 and 3 is equal to 10. I can also write this calculation another way. I can write 10 as my whole number. 10 is the same as having those 2 parts, the 7 and the 3. The 7 and 3. You can also reverse those numbers. So I could have written 3 add 7 equals 10 because I can add in any order. And I could also have written 10 equals 3 add 7 because addition can be done in any order because they're just joining the amounts together. So I have completed level 1. I've added using the cubes, even though it wasn't number 1 to 10. Never mind, doesn't matter. Sometimes we don't spot these things, do we? That's brilliant. But if you were someone that was good at spotting, I think you are ready for level number 2. Level number 2 is using a number line. Okay, so I'm going to have another go at my game, but this time at level number 2. Level number 2 is using my number line. So same thing. I find 2 parts, 2 numbers. I'm going to add them together to find the whole number, the total. Okay, so here I go. 2 more numbers to find. Okay, I've got that one. Oh, and I have got this one. Okay, 2 parts. My first number I found was the number, number 6. I also found the number, that's right, it's 15. So I'm going to add by counting on using my number line now. So when we add by counting on, although we can add numbers in any order, it's much, much easier to start with the largest amount. That's because you're going to start on the number line and count the steps. If I started on 6 and did 15 jumps on, it's going to take me a really long time. So it's much easier for me to start at the number 15 and count on those 6 extra jumps. So 15 I'm going to use as my start number. So I'm going to get my number line and find number 15. Here it is. So I don't know if you can see it there, it's a bit shiny. There we go. Number 15. I'm on 15. My start number is 15. Then I am going to count on 6 more. 6 steps. Now remember, we jump first, we bounce before we count. So I don't count number 15. My finger starts on 15. I start counting after I bounce. So I bounce before I count. I jump on before I count. Okay, so that bounce before you count. And again, bounce before you count. Okay, so here it is. My 15. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to jump on those steps before I count on. But remember how many steps I've got to do first? I've got to do 6. So put this so you can see it. Here's 15. 15, and I'm going to bounce on 6 more. Jump on 6 more. So I bounce first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what number have I landed on? Can you see? It's very shiny, just about. I think my finger's on 21 now. Sometimes when we bounce on a number line, we can make mistakes. I find it's always best to check. So if you want to check, all you do is start again. You start with the same start number. 15 had 6, so 15, and I'm going to bounce before I count. So 15 and do 16 bounces on. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, again, I've landed on 21, which is brilliant. Just sometimes when we're bouncing, our fingers can jump a couple of extra by mistake. So I have found out that 15, and when I added 6 was 15 and 6 was, there we go, you're right, 21. Good remembering. So just the same way, I'm going to record my calculation. I've got 15 as my start number. I did 6 bounces, and all together in total there was 21. So 15 add 6 is the same as having 21. I can record it the other way. That's 6 add 15 is the same as 21. 6 plus 15 is the same as 21. That's fine too. I could also start with the whole number. So I landed on 21. The whole number was 21. That is equal to, it was the same as having 15 plus 6. I can also write it as 21 was my whole number. It was the same as equal to having 6 plus 15. All correct. Look at all those calculations. I am doing really well, which means I think I'm going to try level 3. Doesn't matter if you don't feel confident to try level 3. Oh, I'm going to give it a go. I am a positive panda and I want to challenge myself. So this time, exactly the same thing. I'm going to pick 2 numbers, but this time, rather than using the cubes or something to help me, rather than remember, I'm going to think about the maths I know, which I should have done on number 1 because it would tell me it was my number 1. But that's fine. That's what I'm really thinking about this time. Is there something I already know that will help me add these numbers in? So I don't have to use cubes, or I don't have to use number line. So find these numbers. I'm going to try and spot a pattern. Let's see what I can find. Oh, I'm looking around. Oh, Twinkle, isn't these? These are very tricky to find. I'm going to have a look and see. Oh, I have found some numbers. Let me bring back what I have found. I have found the number. That's right, the number 16. I've also found the number. That's right, 14. So I've got 16 and I've got 14. Now is the tricky bit. I'm going to try and do it without using some items and without using my number line. I have to look to see what I notice about these numbers. I have to look at them. So I can see that they both have 110. I can see they've got different ones. One's got 4 ones and one's got 6 ones. What patterns? Can you see anything else about these numbers? Do you notice anything else? I hope you're saying you can notice something. I gave you a clue earlier by the numbers I picked first. I hope you're saying, Miss Brown, there's 6 ones and 4 ones. And I know that 6 add 4 is, I hope you're shouting 10. Look, our number bonds are 10. 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 and 4 is 10. So I haven't got 6 1s and 4 1s. They make a 10, an extra 10. And I've already said that 14's got 1 10 and 16's got 1 10. When I add those ones together, that makes another 10. How many 10s do I have all together? This is tricky maths, so don't worry if it's a bit tricky, but I'm using my maths brain. So the 6 and 4 make 1 10, and the 16 has 1 10, and the 14 has 1 10. Now there are no more 1s left because I used them all to add them together to make a 10. So I've got 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s. What is 3 10s? 10, 20, 30. I think I've got 30. I've got 30. Yes. So I looked carefully at my numbers to see a pattern to help me. And just like before, I can record it down. So 14 add plus 16 is the same as having, there were my 4 and my 6 that I used together to make 1 10. And I had the 10s here. So I've got 10, 20, 30. Oh, I had to work hard there, but it was totally worth it. Can also write it the other way. So I've got 30 as my whole number, and the one part I started with was 14, and another was 16. Brilliant. I'm going to give myself a challenge in different numbers to do that level 3 with, to look for the patterns in my number, because I liked making my brain work. So wish me luck. 2 more numbers. Okay, what can I find this time? Oh, I'm feeling like they're looking a bit tricky, but I'm going to challenge myself. Yes, I am. Okay, I've got 2 more numbers. What's this one? I hope you said 21. Don't worry if you said 12. Sometimes it tricks us, doesn't it? Remember, we have to look at these 10s first. So I've got 2 10s and 1 1, 21. 21. So I've got 21 and, oh, a big number. What's this one? 3 10s, 2 1s, 3 10s, 10, 20, 30, and 2 1s. I hope you're saying 32. Oh, giving myself a real challenge now. 32 and 21 added together. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what do I notice? What do I notice? I think I'm going to notice. What do you notice? Is there anything you know, any maths you know that can help you? I think for these numbers, I'm going to look at the 10s and 1s and add them separately, because neither of them are big numbers by themselves. For example, 21 has got 1, 1, 1, and 32 has got 2 1s. And I definitely can add those together. I can add 1, 1 and 2 1s. 1 add 2. Easy peasy. 3. I've added my 1s together. So I've got 3 1s all together, which leaves me with a 20 and a 30. 20 and a 30, 2 10s and 3 10s. 20 and 30, 30, and 2 more 10s, 30. 3 10s, 2 10s, 30, 40, 50. Hang on. So that was 50, 55 10s, 2 and 1 1s. That was 3. So I've got 50 and 3. 50 and 3 is 53. I did it. Brilliant. I used the math skills I had. So I took the 10s and the 1s and I broke them down together. Today, I'd like you to really have a think about adding, because it's really, really important. And it doesn't matter how you do it, you do the way that is best for you. So it might be best for you that you get the things and you add them all together, you join them all together. That's brilliant. It might be you think, I want to practice using that number line. I'm going to bounce before I count, add them on. That's amazing too. If you think, I want to make my maths brain work and see what I know about numbers and see if I can do that, that's amazing too. Whatever is right for you, you practice that, because addition is really, really important and you can do it in lots of different ways, okay? So the way that is best for you. Have lots of fun adding today, and really, really take your time to just enjoy yourself. Enjoy hiding those numbers. You could hide them for your grown-ups too and see what sort of adding they could do. Or if you've got brothers and sisters at home, you can hide them as well. And just have a practical day of adding numbers. You might say when you're making your lunch today and you're counting out bits for your lunch, you could add those all together. There's lots of different adding. Maths is all around us. So I hope you have a lovely day adding today. I hope you have a great time playing the game, hiding the numbers, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more maths. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.